Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lee USA Speedway.
Is that where we are?
New Hampshire Center for Speed, Jackie. Yes, we're here for the Truly 125.
Are you sure this is Lee?
This is Lee.
You know, I went to Claremont and never got to see the damn race.
Yeah, why is that?
Oh,
pal?
shut up.
We had to put him on the disabled list.
Yeah, he was on a DL for sure.
Oh yeah, till yesterday.
Till yesterday.
You saw that back dirt road up close and personal,
It
didn't
was
you?
enticing.
It was. I'm sure
You
it
know,
was.
And
Enticing?
you got to remember, my head tells me I'm 20. All right?
And your body
It
says
was
what?
my head. It was my head that said, "Why don't you purchase what all these youngsters are using? These electric carts, you know, the little pedal carts."
Yep.
So hey, don't have to worry about a golf cart. I don't have to drive him crazy.
Right.
You know. Well, when I went down that hill and hit that patch of sand and took
Head
us
over
over
heels.
tea kettle.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Took us
That's
over
when my
tea kettle.
body reminded me that I'm 71.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It
we
sure did.
Jackie, we're very, very glad that you are here with us today. You could make it to race number 3 in
We
this
hope.
series.
It's early. It's only the
early.
first podcast.
It is.
He did his first
early.
podcast with
Right.
us at Claremont too, Kevin.
That's
Come
right.
on, jury's still out.
Exactly.
But we're getting ready for another great race here in New Hampshire. Again, the Center for Speed, as I am told, it's going to be a big night here at Lee USA Speedway with the Whitcomb 5 Truly Hard Seltzer 125. We have reached the midway point in this series, gentlemen.
And you know, when you look at the point standings, it's doing everything that Greg and I hoped it would do. The stage points, the stage break. We've had some growing pains, I understand, but you realize we've seeded 2 into the finals. Pat Node, and then of course, our bearded buddy from Claremont that I at least got to see the last lap when they released me from the from the hospital.
They still haven't released you from the inside.
Easy. But when you look at the point
He's on
standings,
a 2-day pass.
we were talking about it by adding that 5th seed into the championship standings. That guarantees that someone, when the regular season ends, that has not won a race will point his way in. And why I bring it up for tonight is, let's say Pat Node, or let's say
Ben
Byrne, who are going to be guests here once you're done with me. Let's say they repeat here or at Hudson. Then it's 2.
Yep.
And the tiebreaker, if they're tied, because there's only a 1-point margin separating first from second, and then it's like, I think, 2 points and a tie for third.
Yep.
Then we got to go to tiebreakers.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what the tiebreakers are? Whatever driver has amassed the most, not finishing points or finishing position, the most stage points. You damn well better get up on the wheel if you don't think that you're going to be able to win one of these suckers and you're going to point your way in. Stage points, stage points, stage points.
That's
Yeah.
why I told everybody, and I put it on a post of mine on my Facebook page. I said, the fans better bring their seatbelts and strap in because those last 10, 15 laps of that first segment, Jackie and Randy and Kevin, they're going to be exciting because if these drivers don't get up on the wheel for that, I don't know what you'd get up on the wheel for.
Randy, I can think about 5 or 6 drivers that Jackie is probably referring to that might not end up winning the race, but are going to be up there in the points battle.
chasing, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, over my shoulder, I told you, we retired the the blue cone. I think what the folks here have painted for the choose rule, even Ray Charles could see it. All right? It's right over here in the restart area. It's that V, and I think that'll end. The blue cone was getting tired. He was getting beat up kind of the way I was
Well, and
on
Ben
the
gave
scooter.
him quite a ride at Claremont.
That's right.
Around the track.
So, kudos to the folks here at Lee. I believe Hudson's going to do the same thing.
Yep, we know Monadnock.
And we know Monadnock's gonna do it.
I checked with the Z-Man today, and he told me,
And
good.
here's the deal. If they don't, I've got the paint in the back of the BMW.
Oh,
There you go. We're good.
good. Very, very
We're good.
We'll sneak Kevin down there. He's a good artist.
No, I'm going to blame Randy.
That's okay.
So if you're just joining us on the podcast, this is the Truly Hard Seltzer podcast right before the big race that's coming up here tonight at Lee USA Speedway. My name is Kevin. Greg Wickham to my left-hand side, Randy Wheelock, and Jackie Arute, and we're getting ready for another 125 laps of great modified racing here at Lee.
This morning I was hosting the morning drive because Bagman and Pistone decided they were going to take an extended vacation and, talked a lot about this race. Because, oh, by the way, this will be the night of the first public appearance of one Tyler Reddick, who surprised the entire racing world when he signed a contract not for 2023, but for 2024. All right, and he's going to be racing in the late model element here, and it'll be fascinating to see because I'm going to chat with him a little bit, and in addition to that, we came this close to putting the star of last week's Atlanta race, Randy LaJoy, back where he was born and bred. I mean, Corey LaJoy.
Yeah, we all like to say Randy because we had a lot of days with Randy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, more than I want.
Exactly.
Look. I spent 6 weeks one night with Randy LaJoy.
But Jackie, you touched.
But
on
Corey wanted to run the modified here tonight.
I know.
But he's going to run it tomorrow at New
say,
Hampshire, the tour car.
He is going to run a modified, which is awesome.
Super shoe. That's what they call him.
Right.
Super shoe.
Yep.
I'm just seeing who's coming around the corner here.
Yeah. That's don't say anything yet, Kevin. Come on, stop giving away secrets.
Okay, I didn't know it was a secret.
We got to keep some secrets. There's a lot of secrets that we don't keep. We keep because Jackie always gives the cat out of the bag a race before the next one.
He's quick like.
Blame freaking Jackie all the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He did it. He did it with the blue cone
I gotta
at
say,
Claremont.
You should have heard.
And then he gets hurt.
Yeah, I gotta say, after he got hurt, you should have seen what we blamed him for. Then.
exactly.
You had no idea, dude, how much of a ribbon you were taking.
Yeah.
Literally.
Do you end your name in a vowel?
No.
No. Do you?
No.
You?
No.
I do.
Yes.
One thing to remember.
That makes you odd.
Italians, as they say down south. Don't get mad. I'll get even.
Right, exactly. I know.
We're hoping so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
All right. We'll see what ends up happening there.
I'm going to get off for a little bit, and then I'm going
You
to
are
come
always
back on.
getting off.
I might. This is a
Not
G-rated
anymore.
show,
Not anymore.
Jack.
I'm not.
Okay.
Not anymore.
This is a G-rated
Yeah.
show.
No, this is
explain.
in racing world. What has it ever been? G-rated.
Just before we went on the air.
PG-13, PG,
But
yeah.
just
We go to
before
R
we went on the
sometimes.
air, our producers said, "Hey, I love the energy. Keep it up."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, not that
I
much.
think you made a
Jackie.
mistake. Don't let him say that.
Oh, wait a minute. He just passed me a note.
Yeah.
I said, "Keep it up. Don't push the pedal to the metal." I'm sorry.
okay.
No,
Who
I am,
had
'cause
under
I've got a guest coming on. So Kev, then you can announce him when he comes over here. I'll come back on the show, Jackie, later.
All right. So who had under 10 minutes before this podcast would go off the rails? Who had under 10?
Ding,
I was
ding,
actually-
ding, ding, ding.
I just got to say, I think I'm the winner because every time I work with Jack, it's like within a minute.
Well, because
Come on in,
Randy,
young
what
man. What's
I've told you before, I learned in my 50 years of broadcasting history that I could not aspire to the lofty levels set by my peers. So I chose instead to, whenever I was working, I would drag them down into the gutter with me.
Oh, nice.
Now,
Wonderful.
folks, I'm going to let you in on a secret. Guess how long it took for me to get this cat into the gutter? He got there before I did.
I don't know. He rubs me pretty hard, but I think he actually we can work together pretty well. But we tried. I subbed in for you, Jack, so hopefully I covered you well.
Just don't slap me on the ribs, okay?
Again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I mean, still. So,
Well, what do you say, Randy?
I'm
Want to
telling
introduce
you,
this young man,
dude
please?
Here, talk about a fly and Ryan Cranka. He was doing an awesome job last week and the last couple of weeks. Brad Zahinsky, driver of the 23 Astra Modified. Brian, what have you guys found in that car? Because, man, that thing has, like, come to life.
Yeah, we pretty much just spent the whole off season on it. We rebuilt it and had a lot of small issues that I would say. The car was just bound up pretty much the last 2 seasons, and we finally figured it out and had some help from a couple of our competitors and got it rolling now. So
Does the setup have to be different? Let's say the normal distance is 30, 35 laps, but these Whitcomb 5 Series races with the stage break are 125 laps. I'm not talking about driver mentality. I'm talking about the actual setup because you only get one change tire, and you got to make those Dr. Feelgoods last for 125 circuits.
yeah, I mean, since the car was, like I said, so bound up
Yeah.
last year, we put a whole new setup in it this year with long runs in mind, basically. So we changed a couple of minor things, and that's pretty much about all we did, just small stuff. And seems to be likes the long run a lot better than the short run. So
You know, and I think that's the huge benefit that we see. We talk about tire compound, tire setup, stagger being a huge thing. It's got to be way different starting at Monadnock, going to Claremont, now here at Lee. Each track has its own kind of niches. And it seems like, man, I'll tell you, last time I saw you run, you were on fire. That thing was like a rocket ship.
Yeah, I'm definitely Monadnock's my most comfortable track. I feel like I have the most seat time there, and I'm pretty confident in the car, what it's going to do and what the track's going to do. Last season we ran Claremont full schedule, and towards the end of the season we got really good over there.
And that
too.
showed. That showed. Yeah.
Yeah, we started getting really fast over there too. But I mean, coming to Lee, I have no idea what to expect.
So you're telling us that you feel like that chimpanzee that NASA enlisted on top of the first rocket ship.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
But the true thing about it is, and this is what I hear, you know, Kevin and I do Monadnock on a regular basis, and we watch Zach perform there. But everyone that tells me about Lee here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed, they say the same thing. It's a little bit bigger because it's a third mile, but it dials in like Monadnock once you feel the groove. That's what I hear.
I'm hoping so.
There you go.
If that's how
Well,
it
we're
is,
hoping
I
for
think-
your sake it does the same.
So here's the thing, Rand. If it doesn't work out that way,
You can blame
you
me.
know where he'll be.
Nah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
He's-
find them later.
Exactly.
Uh-oh. I may not be able to walk out of here, but I'll be able to crawl. One of the other.
So what has the talk been like so far in the pits? We haven't had a practice session yet.
Yeah, I mean,
What are people talking about? What's the topic of discussion over there right now?
well, I haven't really talked to anybody yet. I pretty much have our game plan, and we're gonna stick to it, and hopefully it works out for us. So, yeah, I don't really.
You
like
know,
I said, it's the first time here, and with this setup and a car that's actually rolling right, so I don't know really what to expect.
can you describe to people, I'm asked this all the time, and the little driving I did is, when you find that sweet spot and that car, as you call it, is rolling, and it's like, is it just the ultimate balance? Is it like when you can hit a golf ball straight down the middle of the fairway for 375 yards, which I have no clue because I hate golf. But you know my point is,
Yeah, oh yeah.
you sit in the car and all of a sudden you know, hey, I don't know what they did to my hot rod, but I'm gonna have fun tonight.
Oh yeah, it's something pretty much you feel it right off the first practice.
Yeah.
If you got something good, you know for a fact that it's going to be good.
So is your philosophy that if you've got that good, that you want to put your foot on the throat of the competition right from the beginning and lead practice and time trials and all that? Or are you more David Pearson type,
Nah.
where you don't want to
Silver
show anything,
fox.
and when you get ready to get in the car, you have to shake the sand out for the main event?
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
it's practice. I'm usually on junk tires, so where I am on the speed charts is what I am.
Okay.
In practice, we just look for a good balance, and then also we know when we put the new tires on, it's going to be a little bit different, but it's should handle about the same and maybe a little bit better. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Zach, you know, we talk about a bunch of different things. We always talk about the family. You hit on it, and I really enjoy bringing this back up again. The competitor's helping you, another competitor,
Yeah,
giving you pointers
absolutely.
on how to be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
What
guys
other
we race
sport
with.
does that, guys?
You know, it's a lot of people in the modifieds are all pretty much friends in the pits. You know, we're not trying to. None of us want to win by half a straightaway. You know, we all want to be competitive. So,
Well, I've got to point out, and I've said this on these podcasts before, when Greg came to me with this concept for the Whitcomb 5, we weren't sure, but the commitment was you've got MRS, you've got Monaco Ford Tri-Track, you've got Tour Type Series all over the place.
Yeah.
But the redheaded stepchild seemed to be what I refer to as the New Hampshire Modifieds.
Yep.
And you all have come together and embraced the concept, and just look at the fields,
yeah.
you know, and how competitive they are. And I wonder, have you gotten any feedback from your fans, you know, saying, hey, you had a great run, or is it just Randy all the time talking about,
Hey,
you know,
wait a
hey,
minute,
you
I'm
looked
one of
good?
his biggest fans, okay? Get out.
You know, after our really good run at Monadnock we had, you know, a lot of people
Good.
brought it up and saying, wow, you guys are really finally starting to get it. So it's pretty cool having that feel, you know. People are starting to consider me as a threat versus being just a field filler now. So that's pretty cool.
That's the way I look at Randy. He's an announcer filler.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had to do it, unfortunately.
Oh,
There's someone who's
shut
not so
up, Randy.
acrobatic anymore.
Brad, that's the mean side of the table
Oh,
over
yeah.
there. That's the mean side over
You just
there.
learn to ignore him after a while.
Brad, talk about your team, your spotter. Who's your spotter for the series?
So my spotter's actually one of my best friends. We went to school with each other, and his dad raced drag bikes and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
There you go.
He's been with me since the last 12 years I've been
Really?
racing. So yeah, he's been with me since I started racing go-karts, and he's gotten a lot better as a spotter. Obviously, there's a lot to learn. A lot of people don't see that, but there's a lot to learn to be a good spotter, and he's definitely getting there. He's a lot better than what he was. So.
I'll share with you a spotter story back before NASCAR instituted spotters. Some of the well-heeled teams would, take someone that was not crucial to their performance and put them up on top of the transporter.
Mhm.
Well, I drew the short straw for Neil Bonnet
Surprise.
and Junior Johnson. I'm gonna, what?
What? I'm sorry.
just- yeah,
Just slid
okay.
out.
So, anyways, it's at Talladega, and the genius that decided, well, just get up on top of the transporter, the mountain, the Budweiser transporter. Well, that's coming out of turn number 4, heading to the tri-oval. So you know that it's like
Yeah.
a mile and a half away. They go down into turn number 1, and all of a sudden there's smoke and people are spinning, and I go, caution, caution, caution. Bonnet keys the mic and says, I know, wacko, it's for me.
Yeah. You never want the driver to tell the spotter,
Spotter.
where the
Exactly.
position he's at.
So hopefully your
Exactly.
spotter's better than I was.
We
That's
had a
all.
run in I think it was last year or the year before.
Really?
In Adnock. There was a wreck in front of me. And
Whoops.
he's telling me to go high, and the whole field just went up to the wall. So that was pretty funny. I still give him a bunch of crap for that.
I'm just
so.
going to say, I think I'm going to go low and stay out of it.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware.
Yeah, I came on the radio and I said, I think you meant low.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was pretty funny.
Well, that's why you go high, go low, rather than go right or go left.
There you
Because
go.
this is my right? No, this is my
Oh,
other
wait a
right.
minute.
No, oh,
Your
Yeah,
other
exactly.
right.
go high, go low.
That's it. That's it. This is the Truly Hard Seltzer podcast for the Whitcomb 5 Series, and tonight we're here at Lee USA Speedway with one of the 17 modified drivers that are in the pits right now, Brad Zahinski, looking for a. Is this your first time at Lee?
This would be my second in this car.
Second in this car.
Yep.
So the notebook on this track really isn't very thick right now.
There is no notebook.
Oh, there is no notebook.
Nope.
All
We
right.
showed up with what we got, and hopefully it's good. We spent some time on the scales this week, so.
It's going to be a big night here
And
at
they're
Lee.
going to give ample amount of practice to these guys tonight. So.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Ramo, bring back my damn golf cart.
Oh my God, Sammy Ramo in theft mode of Jack Arut's golf cart. Look out, here it comes.
Don't make me pull out that scooter again.
Oh no! Whatever you do, Sammy, bring the golf cart back for God's sakes. But I think you're gonna find it'll be a little different when you get out here and you start to move around a little bit. But by practice number 2 or so, you guys will have a good feel, I think, for everything here at the New Hampshire Center Speed, and it's going to be really crucial to watch. I know I'm going to be watching you from the tower. I'm going to see what the Bradsters got for me.
Yeah, we're going to give it our all, and hopefully we come out with something good. I'm pretty confident with my guys, so should be pretty good.
With the field of cars, too, I guess job 1 is to make it to be one of the fast 10.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
job 2 is to have sticky fingers and pull the right ping pong ball out
for
for the
sure.
redraw.
Yep. Yeah.
For sure.
Time trials aren't
We do
really
accept cash, just so you're aware, for your competitor.
perfect. So if you guys see me on P1 on the speed charts out there,
There
know
you
why.
go.
Brad, we'll talk after.
Oh boy!
Okay.
Perfect.
Kevin hit it right on the head. That's the weird and mean side of the thing.
Exactly. If he finds his golf cart, he'll have a
You were
conversation with you
about,
over
I
there.
think, to say though. So you don't consider yourself a good time trialer, right?
No, I've never been good at time
I
trials.
you know what? I agree. That is, but I was given some advice, and I'm going to give it to you. Say, pretend a good friend of mine when because I sucked at time trials. Okay, I just in fact said, why don't you just start me in the back because I'm going to screw the pooch.
Yep.
And he said, just imagine that it's the end of the race and you got 2 laps to go, and you have to go, and you're going to try and take the lead. All of a sudden, when you put yourself in that mindset, now when they drop the green flag, you just think it's a simple restart, and you mash that loud pedal. I bet you'll go even faster tonight.
I hope so.
If not, blame Randy.
All right,
All
so
right.
I'm gonna
Hey.
take his advice because it's usually never good. But I'm going to take his advice, and I'll watch time trials, and I'll say, and I'll probably lose a bet to Jackie. I'll watch or something somewhere along the way. But I bet if that's a great philosophy. I've never quite heard that. But
No, I've never heard that
Yeah.
one either.
so we've got your mindsetted.
Yep.
We've got the car ready to roll. Brad, we can't thank you enough for joining us
Hey,
here
absolutely.
tonight.
Thank you for
And
having me.
thanks for being part of the Whitcomb 5
Oh,
series.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell you
it's-
what,
it's a great series.
you're awesome, man.
Thank you.
You
I
really
All right,
are.
buddy. Good luck tonight, and we'll talk later on.
Brad Zahinsky, he drives the number 23 in our Whitcomb 5 series here at Lee Speedway, the Center for Speed right here in New Hampshire. We've reached the halfway point of this series.
Yeah.
2 more races to go after tonight. We have a date in August at
August
Hudson.
the 14th, we're at the Hudson International Speedway.
It will be a Sunday afternoon at Hudson, and then back to Monadnock, where it all
For
started.
championship weekend.
That's right.
Championship weekend.
Coming
Oh.
up in September. Very, very good. Yeah, it's a big night here at Lee. The weather is absolutely fantastic. If you are listening and watching at home, you still have time to get here tonight. But if you can't get here tonight, you got to make sure that you mark those dates down in August and also September for the final 2 races of this series. So
the driver that's stepping in now, I need to divert for a second.
go ahead, Jack.
I cold call him because I have a podcast as well,
Yep.
Jackaroot's Wind Tunnel.
Yes.
And, I said, hey, Ben, congratulations. I didn't get to see you win at Claremont because I was at the nearby hospital, but I want to talk to you about your victory. I couldn't find a headshot of him in his driver's suit. This is how creative this dude is. He got a buddy of his on the pit crew to take a picture of him in his fire suit up against a white wall in the shop
Yeah.
and sent it for me the headshot,
There you go.
you know?
very, very fancy, Ben. Very,
Which
very
It
fancy.
was actually my 11-year-old.
Oh.
How about that?
How about that?
And if you're talking tech savvy, that's definitely where to go.
Yeah.
Somebody
That's right.
11 or younger.
That's right.
So the big win at Claremont Motorsports Park, really just a couple of weeks ago, it seems, and we talked afterwards. Biggest win of your career?
I would say that it's got to be. I think that's definitely the highest dollar we've won for the longest laps.
Yeah, and
sure.
in the modified that you drive, nicknamed Old Faithful. Did it have that name before that race at Lee, or was it afterwards?
Pretty much. I mean, we're very simple. So the green car is called green, the blue car is called blue, the black car is called black.
There you go.
So,
That's the way I used to refer to my ex-wives.
Easy.
Yeah, right.
We're back to that PG thing, Jack.
but yeah, that green car is one of the oldest ones that we've had since I've started racing modifieds, and it's I don't know, it's just like the car that we don't care the most about if we wreck it. So we just take it and run the daylights out of it, and it always performs. It's always been a rock solid car.
You know, that night I learned a lot, and I think a lot of people learned a lot about racing, where you told me afterwards you just threw everything at it that night. The car was not performing in practice at all, if I remember correctly.
No, we were like half to 3/4 seconds off the pace. I think we qualified like 13th or 16th. It was 16th we qualified.
Yeah.
And I just kept changing shit and changing stuff, and finally we hit on something for the future, and proof was in the pudding.
Well,
you think that whatever it is that you hit on can be transferable here tonight?
Oh, absolutely. Believe me, when that car got home, it was thoroughly went through all the
Scaled
angles
it,
were
measured it. Okay,
Yes,
here you
yes,
go.
Yes, absolutely. So I have very well documented what we had for setup for there. I've got some things in for this track. We've ran pretty good here in the past. We've got 2 or 3 podiums here before, so I got some notes on what we used to run. So I kind of implemented a little bit of both, and we'll see what we got compared to everybody else.
You know, I was astonished as I got to know Ben and conversing on my thing, and he said, look, I'm a businessman. I own a, repair facility and, all of that. And I go, all right, square it up with me. When you got a big race coming up, do you ever, tell the customer, hey, we got to wait for some parts. You're going to have to wait for your car till next week. Here's how cavalier he was. He goes, no, I got people. I got people. When I worked at ABC, I had people. Now look what I got. All right.
I mean, as long as it's lateral, you're good.
There you go. Okay.
once again,
So
the
this-
mean side of
I
the
gotta
table
say,
over
So
there.
Kevin, and in all tribute here, I shouldn't jinx anything, but I don't think we were the ones that went down.
Yeah,
No
that
finger
is true.
Okay, hey, it's been fun talking to you guys on this. I'm going to drop the mic like Obama did that one
Now,
day.
you
And
be careful. Careful.
Well, you want me
Do
to
one of those? Yeah.
do one of these?
Yeah, that's it.
Or because I got to go find my damn golf cart.
All right.
Go
okay.
find your golf cart. I think Ramo's still spinning it around here. at
Yeah,
the
well,
Signature
It's
Center
right around the
Speed,
corner.
so-
We just brought it back.
Keep
Oh,
staying
okay.
on 4 wheels, Jack.
Yeah,
4
4 wheels.
Well, wait a minute.
Two.
on the level ground.
4,
no chipping.
not 2.
No corners.
I got to go talk to Sammy because I think I can sell him
Cut it out.
the
Somebody,
scooter.
Somebody
Oh,
go
boy.
get Sammy
Oh,
on the
boy.
line and let's stop it
And
right
warn
now
him.
before it even gets started.
Well, Ben's the one that suggested I do that.
I no, he didn't.
Hey, $5 is $5.
Yeah,
There you go.
See, I told you I was getting my $5 out of you. You didn't believe me.
Hey, good luck tonight, man.
Thank you, sir.
You know, everybody's still trying to figure out who's going to be the first 2-time winner. You're on a roll. Keep Big
It's-
Mo on your
it's tough.
side.
There's some stout cars in this field. I mean, you got Pat Node, you got Roby, Matty Kimball, Sam Ramo.
Yeah.
All those are very, very strong cars.
You should have seen Roby down at SRX, grilling all of the IndyCar drivers, grilling every. Now he was too cheap to buy a ticket. He dialed up Kobe, and Kobe got him on the list.
Pass
so
the
to
phone
speak.
around.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's the smart one?
I gotta go. Goodbye. I got
All right,
people.
Jack.
Very good.
So, Ben, let's reel back. We're going to go back to your win at Claremont Motorsports Park. You and I are talking in the pits. You said, dude, this place is my nemesis. I just can't seem to get it happen. You then qualify 16th. So I said to myself, nah, I think you're going to be all right. I watched you methodically move up through the field. Pitch after pitch, lap after lap, inside was working. You stretched it to the outside a couple of times and got ahead. I'm thinking, buddy, whatever you're doing, I think you were spoofing me is what you were doing. Whatever you think this track has got, hopefully we put you in the mindset. Buddy, that was an awesome run. That was an awesome run.
I was in the car and I'm just like, oh my God, this thing's drivable. I'm like, this is a blast. When you have a good handling car like that, it makes my job so much easier.
For sure.
I can focus on, picking the people apart, high side, low side,
Exactly.
doing what I got to do and not, okay, is this car going to pitch hard? Is it going to do something funny in the center? Do I got to counter steer? I just smooth in, smooth out, and just motor ahead.
Towards the end a little bit, and paint up a little bit of a picture for the folks that are listening. Towards the end of that 125, you'd had the 75-lap competition caution. You came back out. The car looked like it was a little loose to start with. It looked like set up for a longer run.
Yep, for sure.
But that short run, I was worried. You're like, I see a slide a little bit into 3,
Both of us.
slide into 4, and I'm like, uh-oh, this is not going to be good.
Nope. Well, when you put a new right rear on it overpowers the front end tremendously. So it was really, really tight in the first 10, 15 laps till that right rear started to gain some stagger and lose a little bit of its grip. So we knew that coming in, and a couple cars got along. I think we dropped back to like 4th or so, and then the cars started to even out again, and then the advantage they had on the new tire kind of started to fade away, and we started to pick back up again a little bit. And I can't remember who was in 4th at that point or 3rd, and then I took that over, and I think it was Sammy and Brian were battling out.
Yep.
And it was one of the last restarts. I watched them, and both of them just washed up super hard coming out of turn 4. And I'm like, there's my chance. If there's another caution, I says, this is do or die right there. And sure enough, we had another caution a couple laps later. And I was like, what? I got to have extra heat in the front tires. This thing has to cut out of 4. And I'm going to drag race them down the front and get them into 1. I says, if I can do that, the rest of the race is cake. And that's what we did. I saw it. We lined back up. I saw them 2 skate up towards the wall. I pitched it down as hard as I could and just stuffed it and hoped it stuck.
And it did.
Yeah, and
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I dragged Sammy down into 1. He gave me some room because he knew I already had a roll of steam coming underneath him. And the rest is history. We just kept it smooth for the last 5-10 laps and took it home.
So we're talking a lot, and we talk all the time about this series and the cone that was present that night, the one that you actually gave a little ride around the Claremont Motorsports Park, which actually I thought was cool, but others were probably going, what in the heck is he doing?
I don't think it went that far.
I thought it was funny, actually. I thought it was really cool.
Just giving it a tour of the track.
That's
Yes,
right.
that's
Didn't want
it.
it to be stuck in one spot. Nobody likes a view from one spot. But, when you are in that 5th, 6th spot, caution's out, you now get to choose. How do you formulate that decision quickly enough to get around to that 2 spot and go, you know what? Car's been sticking on the outside. I can move up 3 spots.
I've never been afraid of the outside groove
For sure.
in
I
many
agree.
tracks. and I think that's an advantage of mine. A lot of people get a little sketchy out there because a lot can go wrong. Somebody can pinch you up coming out of the corner, stuff you in a wall. A lot can go bad, but if you can do it right, a lot can go good too. And yeah, I think we picked up 6-7 spots on the cone
it was
deal,
awesome.
on the outside. And if I'm mid to back pack, I'm gonna take every position I can get.
Yeah, they always talk about, when we hear in the big series about the lucky dogs and getting into the right spot. But I'll tell you what, you've never been afraid. I've watched Brian Roby do the same thing.
Yep.
Roby's sitting in 8th spot. What's he got to lose? It's only a gain if he tries to stick it up on the outside instead.
Absolutely. If I gain 3-4 spots and I lose 1 to cut back down in the line, I'm still ahead of the game. Even if I gain 3 spots and I lose 3 and get back in the line, I'm right where I was anyways.
Absolutely.
So it's worth the risk. I mean, once you start getting up into the top 3 and stuff, I mean, you got to be a little more strategic because you've got a lot more to lose at that point, I think. But yeah, back there, it's all bets are off.
Yeah, no. So, talk just quickly about Lee USA Speedway. You've been here at the New Hampshire Center Speed a few times, many times. It's always been good to you. Has it always been in the modified?
The only time I've been here was with a modified, believe it or not.
Nice.
I think we've been here, I think this will be our 5th or 6th time here. I think we got like 3 podiums here so far. So we've been decent. I haven't gotten a win. I've got a 2nd, a couple 3rds. But, I think we'll be a pretty strong contender regardless.
Tonight's the night, maybe.
Maybe.
Threading the needle.
Hey, I'll take that bonus money.
Amen. Absolutely.
Is Pops going to be the spotter again tonight?
Yep. Pops is my spotter.
Or is he been he's been circling around the track looking for the best spot to be in, or
I don't know if they're going to have a designated spot for the spotters yet or not.
Okay.
I suppose we'll
That's a
find
good
that
point.
out at the drivers' meeting.
All right. Okay, we will. And that's just one of the notes that's coming up for later on tonight right here at Lee USA Speedway. It's New Hampshire Center for Speed. It's a big night here at Lee, not only with the 125, the Truly Hard Seltzer 125, but there's also a big Grand State Pro Stock race here. Some Cup driver, I don't know, Tyler, somebody is over in the pits.
Yeah, matter of fact,
Dude.
Jackie and I
I
were
thought
just
Jackie-
down there talking to him.
I thought Jackie left.
Yeah, is he going to bring him over here too, or
No, he's
No.
he just ran around, wanted to look at the track and all that stuff, so he figured out how to get around here. But we were just talking to him down there, congratulating him on his new deal and everything, which was, I think, a shocker to the racing world. It's
Yep.
and we just told him, congrats, you earned it, and good luck, go win the championship for Childress,
And I think, Greg, we've been sitting here talking with Ben about family business and that stuff. Childress Racing has been good to Tyler. It's put him, his career,
Absolutely.
advanced it.
Yep.
And, my heart and soul is with these guys. These guys that are the short track, heart and soul of short track racing. I'm an open wheel guy. Yep. It's great that the cars get fenders on it. Not really my thing. Sorry.
Taxi cabs.
Yeah, there you go. I
There you
actually
go.
was wondering if I could get Ben coerced into that.
They wanted fenders on it so sponsors could put bigger numbers, and then they could get bigger sponsors.
Oh,
Right?
ouch. It's
No.
all about the
No.
money.
Right.
But the
Right.
people who actually had to find someone to cover for them this afternoon so they could get to the track on a
Yeah,
Friday afternoon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I even said, and I said it back to my father years ago, even when we did the cup stuff, okay? I said I wanted to get to a modified track. I said I got to go see my modifieds. That's what I grew up with. I'm a modified guy. The open wheels, the super modifieds. You get me open wheels, and that's what cranks my shaft.
Last night, I'm watching the 1994 40 lap Whalen Modified Tour race at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Benny Parsons, who you guys all know his history,
Yep.
and he was a phenomenal race car driver. He said on that broadcast, now this is 1994 he's
Right.
talking about, he says to Rick Fuller, he says, man, I just don't know how you do it, because the last time I was behind the seat of an open wheel car, it was all I could do to handle it. Rick says, what do you mean? This is a piece of cake.
Right. Yeah. But that's what's fun. I mean, that's why you love it, right, Ben? It's the open wheel. It's the excitement. I mean, just looking at them and hear them the way they sound with those
Absolutely.
exhaust and everything.
Oh.
It does. I mean, I said it. I've been around since I was 4 years old.
From a driver's perspective, it's the grip.
Yeah.
These things
Yes.
are just, it's The best way to
grip
describe
level's high.
it's an
Yeah.
unnatural amount of grip in the corner you
Yep.
have to trust.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
we ran at Loudon a couple of years ago with the short track showdown. We brought
Yep.
the 604 cars
Yeah,
up
there you go.
And as fast as you're coming down in that corner, you're turning in. You're almost fully committed turning into the corner before you roll out of the throttle and start
Right.
hitting the brakes. And it's phenomenal. It's
Your
awesome.
brain's telling you to lift, but you
Yep.
can't. You
Yep.
can't.
Absolutely.
You know,
Right.
you
You're
got to
committed.
drive. You got to drive it to that limit, and if you can't, you're not going anywhere.
No.
But that's the way these cars are. But like I said, it's 52 years, and every time I hear one start up, it does the same thing.
Oh,
It's amazing.
It brings your pulse up.
Oh,
It
Jackie
gets
said
your
that.
adrenaline going.
Jackie said that last September when we did the first one with Jackie when we were doing the podcast. He says all of a sudden the car started coming out to practice, and he goes, "I'm 71 years old, and that still gets my adrenaline going.
Absolutely.
This is what I come to the track for." I mean, and that's Jack Root. I mean, he's been around every racing there is in the world.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's what these cars do, and that's why we
It's
did this.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I brought it to the modifieds, and I brought it to the crate motor modifieds because not only do I want to sit there and say, I mean, let's say, do I think they need it because you know, we needed to get car count up and stuff like that, but that's the home of racing. It's the short tracks. It's the guys that say, listen, we're not going to do this full time. We're going to do this. We want to have fun with it. Let's try to reward them and make this where we all came from. It's true grit, hard racing, and these guys love it. And what do? These guys help each other more than anybody.
Absolutely.
You said that, Randy.
Yes.
They go into the pits. They might be arguing, fighting, telling they're number one with the wrong finger on the track.
We never see
But
that.
when they get in the pit and all of a sudden they got a car that's sitting there and they need help, they help them. Because
I've literally watched racers here unfortunately make contact with each other during heat qualifying or whatever they're doing, and I've watched the two teams boil together to get two cars back together, and they come out for the feature. I mean,
and
it's
then when
like
they
a
get
blink of
going
an
in the
eyelash.
feature, they're sitting there still giving each other,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
buddy, you're number one.
Exactly.
Let's have a cookout Sunday.
Yeah.
By the way,
exactly.
you owe me a rack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. by
Well,
the
we
way,
don't see those phone calls.
that bent wheel. Yeah, that's mine. Thanks.
Ben, you had to travel a little bit farther here today. I know a lot of people helping you out, getting you to this track here today.
Yeah. It was about 3 hours. Well, it was supposed to be 2.5, but we ended up blowing a casing on the trailer on the way here. So I was on the side of 495 with a sawzall and a grinder, cutting the dead casing
Doing a little
off.
pit stop roadside.
Yeah, I'm like, there's 7 more
gotta
tires back there.
practice.
We're good.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, we got Burn Tone, of course. We got B Gory Fabrication, Barlow Pavement. Those guys they help out tremendous, so we can put on a good show.
Very good. Very good. I appreciate you joining us today.
Well, Ben,
Thanks for
we
having
know
me.
that you and Dad are got some chili dog action going on. We'll have to make our way back over that way soon
Absolutely.
before supper. But we know you're still working on the car. We wish you nothing but the best of luck tonight, buddy. Monkey off the back, no podium, no second. You got to roll it up into victory lane.
Hey, not for any lack of trying. We'll be up there.
Absolutely. Ben, thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
Good luck tonight.
Ben Byrne joining us tonight. He'll be out on the track in Old Faithful. That's what they call the modified these days. The number 6 here at Lee USA Speedway. Ben, of course, one of our favorite drivers. He runs the weekly series over at Monadnock Speedway. A couple of weeks ago, there was a big modified race at Monadnock, and it wasn't exactly a
clean
show. But I am happy to say that when we got here to Lee today, I saw a couple of modifieds I didn't expect to see because of that race at Monadnock.
I
And
actually
that
saw
means
3.
okay, that means that teams and drivers and families have been working especially hard
Wicked.
since that race at Monadnock early in this month of July.
So
to
I'm
be
going to do
here
a Jack
today.
of Root right now.
Go
but
ahead.
It's not going to be for the next race because it's going to be a season-long thing that I'm going to enter for 2023, and I want to say it right now.
Okay.
Wow.
I saw the effort of the 99 putting a motor together to get back here because they lost a motor that
For
night.
sure.
I saw the 62 pretty much lose a rear
Oh.
end of a car.
Tough shape.
I saw the 6 car lose, and he's already won a race, so he's in championship weekend. He does tonight. Yeah, does it matter? Yeah, because he wants the more money and everything. Granted, and he's a racer, but he's already in the championship. They got that car back here. So you know what we're bringing in for 2023? We're bringing in Best Effort of the Year award.
There you go.
How's
Great
that?
job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that hard charger award.
It's like the Hard Charger Award. We're
Sure.
going to bring in the Best Effort Award. You know,
Okay.
the hardest working effort award. We'll come up with a real name for it,
Yeah.
but that's where I'm at right now. But there will be an award for that for next year.
You know, you can't say enough. These, when we left Monadnock that night, I know you were there, Greg, and so is Kevin. We're sitting here thinking ahead. as you always been planning ahead, thinking to ourselves, "Oh no,
Will
what's
you
this
start
do?"
touching my fucking leg, though?
You'll be all right.
Excuse me, I didn't. Can you cut that out? I didn't mean to say that.
Nice.
Is there any sort of delay on this broadcast?
Yeah, there
Any?
should
It's
be.
almost like him with the New York lottery.
Oh shit. Yeah, well, New York, whatever.
Did I say New York that
Yes,
time?
you
You did,
did.
but oh well. We
Oh,
still
well.
got
It's like we were in Vermont, then we were in New Hampshire. How the hell did we get
Where
to
did
New
we
York?
go? We've gone
I
all
got the
over
new
the place.
part,
Sorry,
right.
folks, if it gets a little weird.
I mean, you were touching Jackie, now you're touching me. I mean, come on, I got to talk to your wife.
You'll be all right, buddy. You'll be all right.
Go
But
back
anyway.
to what you were saying, Randy, because
Yeah,
it's very
I'm sorry.
important.
Yeah,
It's
so,
really
so I think what happens is that we're sitting here freaking out a little bit. We're thinking to ourselves,
Yeah.
oh no, how many of these competitors are not going to be able to compete with us the next time? Every one of those competitors that's here tonight is because of what we're doing. They hustled and sweat and borrowed parts and put a used motor in a car.
And that's why we want to
Because they
sit there
wanna
and
be with
reward
this
it.
tour.
You got to reward that.
You
You
gotta.
have to. Can we reward it this year? Yeah, we got 2 races left. How do you really do it and do it fair? But for 23, yeah. But what did we say earlier? Okay, I know Dee and Trench are the ones that said it to me, so I'm going to give them the credit for this. They said, Greg, this year is your pilot year. It's like a TV show. This is our pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we're learning every race. We're learning every podcast. We're learning every
Absolutely.
event. We're learning every minute. Okay, whether it's the apparel area, whether it's the catering area, whether it's the podcast, whether it's what we do with the drivers to the track. What we do, we change the blue cone. We've already made a change on that and brought out the triangle. So we're learning and we're trying to do things. We changed the point system already.
Yep.
Now we want to point somebody in. Did we have an idea that we might do that? Yes. And why? Because it's the Whitcomb 5. So now what do you have in the championship weekend? You got 5 drivers.
Yep.
It makes sense.
Certainly
and
does.
And again, you talk about this is the Truly 125.
Correct.
Sponsorship. We talk about sponsorships for the drivers.
Right.
We talk about adding into the stuff, the makeup, the stuff that's going on. But the bottom line is sponsorship's the key. And Fairfield's Auto Group, we have a pace truck here from them provided by the group tonight, which has been awesome. They've come on as a pretty heavy sponsor with the
official
Whitcomb
pace
5.
car of the Whitcomb 5, and now also the official dealerships of the Whitcomb Fairfields and Automall.
And Tempestas.
Tempestas
They
is
provide
wonderful.
all the food.
Yep.
They were great. Kevin and I stopped on the way up through, and holy moly,
And
they
I
kept,
appreciate that,
they,
guys. Thank
well,
you.
they kept putting food in, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I got a big enough truck, guys.
Right. Yeah. You should have went back and got the dump truck.
I got a van or something,
Yeah,
to be able to
right.
at least figure it all in. But Greg, kudos to you and the team. You've been working this. I know that you work this every minute, every waking hour. You probably work it in your sleep, I think.
I think I do.
But, we all are here as a team. It's great to work side by side with our partner down at Monadnock Speedway, Dave Sutherland. Dave is the voice of Monadnock Speedway.
Yeah, he is.
And we have so much fun just making the travel up to these places.
And
We
that's why
laugh
Dave
and
had to
talk.
be involved with this, because he's been involved with the Whitcomb 100 since pretty close to probably his exception.
And just thank you for not having to pick up Jackie on the way.
Yeah.
Well,
There is one break in the world.
right. Jackie, come on.
I pull in, and who's right behind me but this little silver BMW?
BMW,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, no.
Here
he
he
is.
is.
Here
Yeah.
we go again.
No scooter in total.
No scooter. I told him
No.
if he had a scooter, I was running it over with a fire
No, I
truck.
just told him just to go home. You might as well go home. But anyway, it's no, and then we got to remember we have our autograph session. We got Sandri and Sunoco backing that. They're the proud sponsors of that. We have our apparel sponsor with Silver Screen Design down in Greenfield, Mass. They're our official apparel company. People like that. You got the New Hampshire Lottery with the DraftKings, and we can't forget about that. Everybody remember that with the DraftKings. They've got you covered and everything, because you bet $50, you get $50. You got to remember that. We have the banners up around that. They give away lottery tickets for these events. So there's a lot of things that go into it. Do we have a lot of things going on for 23? Oh, you bet you. I mean, we got 3 races left for 22. But the off season, I've already talked with Dee and Trench about ideas for what even we're going to do with the podcast stuff and what we can do with that, and the sponsorship things, and just the things that could come. Tracks that are
Well,
talking to us. Do
there-
we want to stay at the tracks we're at? Absolutely.
That's the point too, because behind the scenes, everything that goes on to help the promotion, to help the facility and all that stuff, the Wren family been absolutely
they've been
awesome
great.
to us.
Absolutely.
You know, here at the Lee USA Speedway, it's Joe Bassett, Christina, and Sarah, and all the folks here, Nate, and all those guys, just make this place hum.
They do. Joe and I have had 2 weeks of just, back and forth. We have we had words? Who doesn't? But that's because of the passion.
Exactly.
We both have ideas. We both have the passion for it. He did things in this sport that I didn't do behind the wheel. I did things in the sport he didn't do, and we try to bring that together and make it a package. And that's what we did. And we're having fun with it. Do we joke around? We joke around all the time.
Well, look, guys, just for setting the record straight, I may mess around. I pick on these guys quite a bit. Greg has become an awesome friend. Jack is just Jack. And he just, you know what? He, as much as, different as he is, we'll give him different.
Well, yeah.
Different is definitely a word for Jack.
Definitely a good word for Jack.
But, Jack's heart and soul is in this. Dave's, myself, Kevin. I love that Kevin and I get to do a radio show every week together, and we've been doing it together for so long, partner, that it's so much fun. We announce together at Monadnock. It's just excitement. It's all about the excitement.
But this is why I brought you guys into it, because I want the guys that are passionate about it. I don't, there's a lot of good people in this that just do it because they just, what are you going to pay
That's
me?
what they do.
What are you going to pay?
Yeah.
No. Do you
That's what
love
they
the
do for a living.
sport? Yeah. Do we take care of our people? Yes. But here's the thing. Do you have the passion for it? Do you have what I'm looking for? Do you have a vision of where this could be in 5 years? That's what I want, and that's what I've brought in to make this thing really, really work for my father, for everybody, especially the competitors. That's the important thing. And then you cannot forget about the fans.
Oh.
We want to make it exciting for the fans. We want to bring in new things all the time. So
Yeah, if you have a passion for modified racing, here's where you need to be tonight at Lee USA Speedway here in New Hampshire, because there's going to be a great race going off not too long. We're talking about that passion and mentioning Dave. Dave jumped out of the truck when we got here, took his pad and his pencil. And
All
he's
through
in
the
the
pit
pits.
area.
He's off into the pits. He's
Off
talking
like
to
a
the
rocket.
teams. He's talking to the drivers, because he can't wait to get ready
the
for
things
call
he
that
does
race.
behind the scenes, people will never understand, or they'll never know, because you couldn't cover all of it. And he is just the guy that goes to
And
everybody.
we said this before, and
We got the cars coming out, so we're gonna have to cut this in a
we're
minute.
gonna be a little funky here to be able to hear. Just quickly, Dave Sutherland has been the voice of the Monadnock Speedway since 1971 when it opened.
And this Whitcomb 100 was 75, so
And
that's why I
even
said
whatever
the
we need
inception.
to do, Kev, we need to get him into the New England Racing Hall of Fame. We need to start
Yes.
a campaign, whatever it takes. Folks out there, if you're listening, if you've heard Dave, you need to help us. Whatever it takes, let's get it.
Let's start a vote page.
Let's do it, because I tell you what, it would.
I'm in.
It's such an honor for me to work side by side with him.
I'm in. I'll be the first one. Maybe
Amen.
second, but I'll be first.
This isn't a modified over here.
This
No.
is not a modified.
It's not.
This is definitely not a modified.
No.
But it is a race car, and we're here to enjoy racing here tonight. Again, here at the Whitcomb 5, the Truly Hard Seltzer 125. It's the Truly Hard Seltzer podcast here at Lee USA Speedway. We'll be back with more, right?
Yes, we will. We'll be
will.
back. Yep. We're going to have the fastest lap award and also the national anthem singer on.
Oh, very good.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll do a little moving around and enjoy the track here at Lee USA Speedway. We hope you enjoy the podcast, the Truly Hard Seltzer podcast. We'll be back with more in just a bit.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. It's Kevin and the Truly Hard Seltzer podcast here at Lee USA Speedway for the big Whitcomb 5 Series race, the Truly Hard Seltzer 125. I'm here, of course, with Greg, and we're here with a great singer.
Didn't she do a wonderful job?
She did a wonderful job.
She did a wonderful job at Monadnock. And now
Yes.
she's done a wonderful job at Lee.
Shauna, nice job. And I'm trying to remember. Yes, I do remember the Monadnock performance. It was a really good job, and I'm so glad you joined us here tonight at Lee Speedway.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, so one thing I always ask people when they sing the national anthem, how do you practice singing the national anthem?
In the car on my ride home from work.
In the car on your ride home from. So how long is your commute from the ride home from work?
About 5 minutes.
Okay, so you're going to get like one. You're going to get one practice time in.
Right.
Each time. Okay, so if you do a five-day work week, you're getting 5 practice sessions in. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you been singing the national anthem in front of crowds like this?
I think my first one was in middle school.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been a number of years. I'm not gonna guess how old you are or anything like that, but it's been a long time now.
Yeah, it's probably been about 15 years.
Okay, and is it always at racetracks like this, or what other events have you sung the national anthem at?
I've sang for the Swamp Bats. I've sang for school hockey teams.
Wow, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, very, very good. Are there any singers that you look up to in regards to people that you admire and you would like to sing in that singing style, or?
Yeah, I mean, basically all of my sisters and brothers, my whole family's music.
No kidding.
No.
All right, so go over your siblings, older brothers and sisters, or?
Yep, so my older brother, Ray, we actually used to have a family band. He was the lead guitarist and the lead male singer.
Uh-huh. And what's the name of the band, if you don't mind me asking?
At first, it was The Next Generation,
Uh-huh.
and then some odd, probably 20 years later, it's Backroads Band.
The Backroads Band. Greg, I think I've heard of the Backroads Band before. Now my memory bank is starting to work a little bit, but she was saying in the Backroads Band.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she did. Very, very good. Oh, and Jackie's here behind us as well.
Well,
Jackie's always got to get in the picture somehow.
Well, he does. He's photobombing.
Yes, he definitely
Right.
is.
He
definitely
it's
is.
my stuff.
So, when it comes to the national anthem here at Lee USA Speed, could you see the people who were listening in the background when you were down there on the track, or did you?
No, I was facing the flag.
Oh, very, very good. You've got the protocol down as well. So we have 2 races left in the series. Are you going to be joining us for a couple of more races, or what are your plans?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think this was the last one, but if you guys will have me, I'm happy to be here.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll have a conversation with Greg, and we'll figure out what's going to happen in August, because we have a big race coming up in August at Hudson Speedway, and then we're back to Monadnock in September. Sound good for you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
I'm so glad you joined us here. This is the Truly Hard Seltzer podcast, a part of the Whitcomb 5 Truly Hard Seltzer 125 at Lee USA Speedway. We qualified not too long ago, and it was Sammy Ramo pulling in the fastest time around this third of a mile here at Lee USA Speedway, and we hope to get him on the podcast in just a couple of moments right here at Lee USA Speedway. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. This is the Truly Hard Seltzer podcast here at Lee USA Speedway. We're here for the big race, of course, the modifieds, the Whitcomb 5 Series. This is race number 3 in the series. We just had qualifying, and Sammy Ramo came up on top. Sammy, congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. No, it's car was pretty good in practice today, and I was feeling pretty comfortable with the pole here. So the guys did a great job giving me a good car. It's super easy to drive it when it handles like that. So hopefully it's like that on lap 125, and get it to the stage break there and see what happens.
Well, Greg and I, we were watching qualifying, and we're like, everyone's so slow. Well, what's going on out there?
It looked like nobody had any grip.
No one had any grip. And we were waiting for a lap that was under 15 seconds. Like, no one was hitting 14.
We had 14.9s, 14.91,
Sure.
Larry, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, Sammy goes out and just says, "Here, take that."
Yeah, you got to give them something to talk about. It's this place has always been super good to me. Lee's, I won here way back in the day. It was actually 4 years from yesterday. We won one of the Twin 50s in the MRS series here. That was actually my first career win in a modified. So
wow, all right.
Yeah, Lee's always been good to me. We ran here earlier in the year on the tour, and had a really good car. Just came up with some bad luck on a pit stop, and this place is awesome. It's a good racetrack, good racing. It's just very abrasive, and I guess the name to the game is going to be conserving your tires tonight.
Well, that's interesting that you say it's abrasive, because it seemed to me, I was talking to a couple of drivers during practice. In practice, they were saying that there wasn't a lot of grip out there. Did you have that same experience or no?
Yeah, Lee's known for not having a lot of grip, so it's Yeah, it's a fun racetrack. It's as long as you conserve your tires. I really hope we'll be there at the end, and I'm just gonna have to conserve and keep that in the back of my head. My spotter's just about the best in the business for helping me conserve. So we'll see what happens.
So you're going to say that turn 1 and 2 or 3 and 4 are a little harder on tires, or is it about the same in both?
It's just about the same track. Early in the day, I took actually a golf cart right around the racetrack, and I was just checking out how worn out the pavement is and how the surface is here, because it changes so much after weather and years of wear and tear from race cars and enduro races or whatever happens, and the aggregate's just coming right out of the pavement, so it's super abrasive all over the racetrack. Obviously the corners are probably a little bit more abrasive than the straightaways, but I think 1 and 2 are definitely just as equal as 3 and 4.
Greg, I think he took Jackie Arut's golf cart.
He did.
Remember, Jackie was trying to find his golf cart.
We were on the podcast, and he said, "Hey, Ramo, I want my golf cart back."
Yeah, I brought it back.
He took some hot laps out there in a golf cart.
I just have a couple of more questions because qualifying really is so important here at an event like this. When you were qualifying, do you have your spotter out there, helping you out while qualifying, or is it just you and the track?
No, I actually have no communication with the track. It's just me and my spotter.
Okay.
He's giving me information as in what the top 5 lap times are while I'm in the grid over here.
Yep.
And as soon as I exit the grid, he gives me the white flag, obviously, and then I come around, get the green, white checkered. He gives me my lap time and just kind of gives me some motivation, some constant motivation, keep my head up, and no matter what happens, I've done plenty of qualifying on the NASCAR Wheel Modified Tour, so it's just it's just you got to keep your head up while you're out there, and my spotter does a great job doing that for
You're
me.
going to drop that spotter's name for us so he gets a little bit of credit out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Greg Emerson with Night Owl Creations. He does my helmet. He does my spotting. He's the best in the business. So anyone needs a spotter that's not on my schedule, you can have it.
You can have it's spotter. I mean, in any race, I mean, it's important. It's important. It can help you, especially when you're back in traffic, right?
Definitely.
I mean, coming up through. And then he can also tell you if he knows the racing and knows how you are as a driver, he can tell you, hey, this line looks like it's a little working. It's move your lane up, move it down a half a lane.
Yeah,
Whatever.
definitely. I mean, a spotter with that much experience is always the best. It's the best thing that I've been taught by a person who's helped me a lot in racing, which is Russell Hersey, who's here tonight. He's taught me a lot of things, but the most important thing is remembering a tail panel. You always got to remember who's in front of you, who's around you, and how they race and how they react in their cars. And as simple as something like, okay, last race, that guy burned his stuff up.
Yep.
So you got to remember that, and especially a place like here with tire conservation is huge. That's the name of the game tonight.
Be patient, because at some point they're going to slip, and at that time take advantage of it and get by them.
Exactly, yeah. You just got to wait for them to make a mistake and overcome their mistake.
Right. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Greg, I think we learned a couple of things, talking to Sammy tonight, how important this place is for you, first of all, with that first big win a couple of years ago, and how important it's going to be for all of these drivers tonight to conserve.
Oh, conserve, and what we did, all the drivers know, and what Jackie and I were talking about. We've talked about it on the podcast. Jackie talked about it up in the booth tonight already. The points, and Sammy right now, because Ben is won a race, is the leader of the points. So those first 75 laps are going to make a big difference. I'm curious to see what Sammy does with that, with 10 or 15 to go. You get as many points as you can, but I'm going to say the 25 of the 06 are the guys that are going to probably win this race.
Well, hey, win the race and you don't have to worry about points, right, Sam?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to lock myself in. I've actually never been to Hudson before, so next month on the 14th is going to be my first time being at Hudson. Hopefully,
and I heard that place is bad on tires. I'm hearing it from everybody. It's going to be a challenge.
I'm really hoping to make it up there one of these weekends when I'm not racing. We're actually racing the next 4 weekends in a row. I got a couple tour races coming up and stuff. So, my team tossed around the idea of going to Loudon tonight, and I'm very happy we're here tonight at Lee USA Speedway with the Wickham 5 Series. You guys have done a great job.
Yeah. We're trying. This is the pilot year. We've got a lot of things to work on, a lot of things to change.
This year's the test dummy.
That's what I'm saying. TV
great.
Shows come out, and here's your pilot.
Yeah, right.
Let's see how it goes.
Right.
And then let's make some changes and fix it, make it better.
Definitely. No, it's great to have a good sponsor for the series and for this race. It's super special to have as big of a company as Truly is. I mean, everyone knows who Truly is. So it's hopefully down in Victory Lane I'll have myself a nice check and a couple Trulies.
Couple Trulies and pop some champagne and say,
Yahoo!
I'm going to championship, maybe win 10 grand.
Hopefully someone, hopefully.
Because I know you're good at Monadnock too, my friend. You got the pole.
We're gonna try.
Yeah, I know you will.
We're here with Sammy Ramo. He was the fastest modified out there in qualifying, 14.181 seconds. Driver who represents Massachusetts, Central Mass 3. I think you guys have the biggest mound of cordwood I've ever seen in my entire life when I was driving past your place the other day. I know you guys are working hard at work, working here at the track. We're glad you're with us tonight.
Thank you, guys.
You bet.
And we have got to say thank you very much to Truly Hard Seltzer for the sponsoring the event for the Truly Seltzer.
Yes,
125.
Truly Hard Seltzer. That's the Truly Hard Seltzer podcast here at Lee USA Speedway, New Hampshire's Center for Speed. We'll be back with more in just a bit. Well, the Truly Hard Seltzer 125 is in the books here at Lee USA Speedway, and the 06 of Sammy Ramo in Victory Lane. Greg, I was watching from way up top. I don't know about you, but this kid right here was pretty dominant tonight.
He, it looked like, and you can correct me on this, Sammy, I think the first 25 to 35 laps, he was just sitting there going, okay, everybody, use your tires up because I'm saving and I'm saving and I'm saving. And when he got the caution and he got to the outside, he said, okay, it's go time.
Yeah,
and then he never looked back.
Take us through it, Sammy. So what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I started the race back in 7th. I mean, the draw makes it pretty interesting on the start there. But no, I started the race in 7th, and I was just riding. I was fully content with going at my own pace, and I was just riding. And then all of a sudden, Tyler Leary and Pat Node were up there battling, and I said to myself, oh, well, they'll probably come back to me a little bit. And then they were just in a higher lane because their cars obviously got loose. I mean, so I was able to get both of them, and then just was able to maintain the lead. And I got a 77 car. I don't know his name, but
Justin Beecher.
Yeah, Justin Beecher. Yep. And I took him on the outside on one of those restarts there, and just never looked back. My goal tonight was to win the first stage. Just in case I wasn't lucky enough to get in Victory Lane tonight, I wanted to be that first car in points. So
see, this is what we're saying, man. The points started to matter
They
as
do.
soon as we said 5 are now in the championship.
Yeah,
you got
definitely.
the Whitcomb 5, and you got the 5 in the championship. But you know what? Sammy's already in.
Now, Sammy is definitely in. I bet Matt Kimball is really psyched that you ended up, I mean, of course, he wanted to win this race, but now Matt Kimball, I believe he's going to be our points leader.
He's going to be right. I think Sammy's going to be the points leader.
I'll be the
Sure.
points
But
leader.
he's already in. So then you're going to have Matt Kimball and Brian Roby going neck to neck now because
that is true.
You're right.
Yeah, you got to bring up Roby as well.
And it brought some other guys. I mean, Tyler Leary, he finished 4th, so he's right there. And I think at Hudson, he runs good at Hudson, and they're gonna have a show. Now these guys, I don't know about these guys. Racers are racers. Okay, we're in the championship, but we got a month to fix the car. We want to win a second one.
The last 50 laps of this race, all green flags, completely different than what we experienced over at Claremont Motorsports Park. But the result, you in Victory Lane, got to be super psyched about this.
Yeah, I mean, all these Whitcomb 5 races, we over the season here, we built this brand new car for this series. So it's been super good to us, and I probably should have done a little bit better at Monadnock, but I did beat my stuff up a little bit too early, and then at Claremont, I was just not the car to beat, and Ben was a lot faster than me. So, no, I'm glad tonight we were the car to beat, and it's surely paid off, and hopefully we'll go celebrate after this and be on to the next one. So.
Where is the next one for you, Sammy?
I'm racing Star Speedway in the SBM 125 next week, and then I'm racing Claremont Motorsports Park in the NASCAR Wheel Modified Tour the week following.
Very good.
Keeping himself busy, keeping that seat time, getting himself ready for Hudson, and then now it's on to the championship.
Right. So we'll see what happens.
Now's the chance to thank everyone who helps put you in Victory Lane right here at Lee Speedway.
Yeah, my dad leads a great group of guys who put all their effort into bringing me to the racetrack every week and let me do what I love. And all my guys, my sponsors, my girlfriend, everyone who supports me. I can't list the name because it's way too long, and we'd probably be here till tomorrow. So
It's an awesome feeling, though, isn't it?
No, yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm very glad to have a lot of people support me than a little. So it's good feeling to be back in victory lane this year, and hopefully we can get it done again.
He's been so consistent, though. I mean, he had a second, and then he had a third. Now he's got a win. So he's been on the podium, and he's been the fastest lap guy twice.
Yep.
I think he's got another one in him.
We'll see what ends up happening. We've got 3 races in now, Greg. 3 different winners, and we move on to Hudson in August.
We had a good feeling that this was going to happen, and that's why Jackie and I had this point thing with the 5th one in our pocket. And Jackie said, let's bring it out.
Yeah, we'll see.
So here you go.
We'll see what ends up happening, how it all shakes out. Big thanks to Truly Hard Seltzer, our big sponsor for the podcast here at Lee USA Speedway, and of course the Truly Hard Seltzer 125.
And yeah, we thank them very, very much, and we thank all our sponsors, Fairfields Auto Mall and everything for coming on. And we got you list them all. We got the New Hampshire Lottery with the DraftKings. We got Sandra and Sunoco with our autograph stuff, and the Weaver Brothers. They've been involved. Like Sammy said, we could be here all night. You got to make a list, write them down in front of you, because you're going to forget somebody, and we don't mean to hurt any feelings, but you all mean the same to us, and it's great. Sammy, again, congratulations, bud. I knew,
thank you for
I knew
everything.
it was coming.
Yeah, me too. I was hoping, but you never know at coming to these racetracks. I mean, these guys are real good. So the competition in this series is just as good as any other. So, no, it's a great series. You guys are doing a good job, and I'm excited for Hudson.
Very good.
Thank you, Kevin.
We're moving on to Hudson, and we're going to go see 150 laps of Pro Stocks right now.
Right.
Yeah, guys.
We get to go have some fun now.
Have fun. Go have yourself a beverage, will you?
There you go.
Thanks for joining us right here on the Truly Hard Seltzer podcast.